and I'll be conducting this session. So in this session, we will introduce leadership. What does it mean? Explore whether leaders are born or made, and we will also discuss about the roles and vision values in terms of a leader. And by the end of the session, we should be able to reflect on our leadership style as well as values. These are the learning outcome of the session. So if we look into the definition of understanding what is leadership. So this can be defined in many ways, but the most definition involve regarding performance as well as followers. So according to Laurie, so one can lead to no more than a question in hand. So this reminds us of the leadership that it isn't just about authority, rather it's about inspiring others to adopt and grow. So thinking about leaders like Greta Thunberg, so she didn't just have formal authority, but also she led by influence, example, as well as convictions. So if you look into different types of leadership style, we got many leadership style like democratic, autocratic, laissez-faire, transformational, transactional, bureaucratic, and servant. This will be discussed over the next few weeks of slides. Discussing about the most debated topic, right? The classical debates continues till today, right? Where some people say that some have natural charisma or confidence or leadership that are established through development, which is like through learning, reflecting, as well as the experience that they have. One of the example is of Satya, for example, the CEO of Microsoft. They follow transformational leadership, and his leadership style was adopted by empathy, growth, as well as the mindset that he has. So these traits are learned over time and developed over time. So these are not just initiated, but these are more cultivated. So if you look into the qualities of leadership and if we discuss it in brief, that would be like strong leaders often just share certain qualities, which is more about empathy, communication, integrity, or even adaptability. If you take examples for empathy or calmness during a crisis moment, is one of the specific qualities of a leader, and which also strengthens the public trust or the employee trust within them. If you think about the qualities that you personally value most, it is often seen to be more visionary, more organized, or being a motivator itself. So if you look into the next slide where it talks about being an appointed leader or being an emergent leader. So an appointed leader might be like team members that we have, and they are given certain level of formality, authority to execute. Whereas emergent leaders are the one that they naturally gain the influence without any sort of group because others trust on them and admire them. So in your group work as well, part of your presentation, you might notice that someone stepping up to coordinate the task more. That is an emergent leadership. So both are important in different contexts. If you look into visions and values, right? So a vision gives us a direction. And this tells us the bigger picture of where you are heading as a business, as an institution. Whereas values are more of guidance principle, right? How you have behaved along the way. So if, for example, if you take NHS, this emphasize on compassion, being more fair, being accountable of what they're doing. So this helps to shape their decision and make their stuff better. If you look into where does this thinking about value takes us? So when we honor our values, we feel alive, we feel vital. At the same time, when we ignore them, we feel forced, we feel unnatural, and we step out being unhappy. So over the time, we may feel that we have developed a gradual sense of dull routine, which is accompanied by regret, not followed by a different strategy. If you look into understanding that what is leadership, this is often defining performance by your followers. In terms of understanding the impact of values clarity on commitment, we need to see, if you look into the chart that's being displayed over here, and it's an outcome of a research where it talks about, according to Coase and Posner, people who are clear about their personal values, they are more committed and motivated. That's what we can see on the screen. So when you know that what matters to you, whether is it honesty, is it creativity, or the service that you're providing, your action will align with your beliefs. If, for example, like a leader who values transparency, they will naturally build the trust within their team. If you look into the value-based type of leadership, this is the leadership which uses the principles on as a compass. So Ryu came up with this research where he explained that when leaders stay true to their values, they feel more fulfilled and they experience less stress. And this also inspire others. If you think of someone like Paul Palmer, he was the former CEO of Unilever. So he used to value sustainability and shape the company entire strategy based on sustainability. If you look into the next type of leadership, which is authentic leadership, this is more about being self-aware, acting consistently with the belief, as well as describing that you have strong internal compass. If you look into the example of HP, their leadership is also known as the true north. So doing the right thing, even if it's tough time, right? So that is the goal of HP, to make sure that they're working according to the situation which they are facing. If you look into clarifying the authenticity, where Carly Fiorni came up with the authenticity definition by her. In her opinion, she thinks that leadership takes what I call a strong internal compass. And by using the term compass, because what does a compass do? It makes sure that it's balancing the winds that are howling as well as the storms that are raging, right? And when the sky is cloudy, so that you have nothing to navigate. So by a compass, it will tell you your true north is. And if you think about when a person is in a difficult situation, like be lonely or depression or any other anxiety that they are facing, you have to rely on that compass. Who am I? What do I do? What do I believe? So this will reassure you to the right path and make sure that whatever things you're doing is right. There is a reason behind it as well. Moving to the next type of leader is authentic followers, right? So when we talk about followers, this is not one-sided. So it depends on authentic followers as well. So these are the people who clarify, evaluate their leaders, and follow for genuine reason, just not following blindly based on loyalty. If you think about employees who challenges ideas constructively, they make better leaders. If you look into the responsibility of a leader, leaders true face responsibility across multiple areas, let it be political, ethical, social, technological, or environmental. And they must also align their strategy, structure, and the system which they share their values in. For example, leaders in terms of health and healthcare sector must balance their patient care ethics with organizational efficiency as well. In next sessions, we will discuss more about values, communication, as well as transactional analysis. This leads to the end of the session. Thank you for listening.